guys, and welcome to my review of Street Fighter 5. Now this is an ongoing review of this beloved franchise, and I just want to start by saying I'm a massive Street Fighter fan. I've been playing Street Fighter since the Super Nintendo days of Street Fighter 2. So you know, I've been following this series from Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Third Strike, all the Marvel vs. Capcom games, we had Street Fighter 4 and all the different versions of that, old Street Fighter 4. And now we had this game released a little over a year ago. And I thought I wanted to share my thoughts on what I think about this game at the moment. So I think it's fair to say, when the game was released, it had a terrible start, terrible launch. It was met with a lot of hostility from the community. Reason being, it was a rush job, right? The game was rushed out, it had a release date. It's PlayStation 4 exclusive only, so you had a lot of backlash from the Xbox 360, the Xbox One community. And it was really rushed out. It was so rushed out to the point that it's probably the first Street Fighter game in history that doesn't, still to this day, have an arcade mode, which a lot of people complain about. And also, Capcom have got into this habit of just trying to sell you costumes all the time. These costumes that I'm sure that people in Japan somewhere would really think is cool and love it, but most of the costumes don't look all that, they aren't all that. And when you've got rival games that are out at the moment, like Tekken 7, which I'm going to do a review of later, that provides you a customization option, paying for costumes isn't really taken well in the community. So the launch of Street Fighter 5 was difficult. It was rushed, it was rough. And at the time when the game was released, it was released for a full price game. That means this game was going for $39.99, which a lot of people weren't really happy with, considering that it wasn't a completed product. Now I got this game for $19.99 because I got the PS4 a little over 6 months ago, and I had to just to get this game. First season of the game then started to pick up. It wasn't too bad. You had certain characters like Guile making a return. You had a lot of new characters. You had Laura that was introduced. You had your classic characters like Ryu and Ken in the game, M. Bison, and their different mechanics. Street Fighter 5 has introduced a new mechanic in this game, which is essentially the V trigger. And what that does is it gives your character special properties depending on who you've picked. So for example, if you pick Ryu, you activate the V trigger, he'll be able to do one of those electric fireballs that he throws out, the Denji Hadouken, and when he does his super as well, you can link that in to do a more powerful version. But at the moment, each character only has one super. So that's one of my other issues with the game. It only has one super, and I think that's because in the future, Capcom are going to do what they always do, and they're going to release the ultimate version of the game, which is going to have all the features that you wanted from day one in the game. Although Capcom did say they're not going to release another physical copy of this game, I think it's pretty well known on the internet that they're looking to release a Super Street Fighter 5 version of it, so you can take that as another version. So Season 1 had a kind of a rough patch, but the die-hard fans were playing the game. And also what Capcom did, which really got people's backs up, were they really focused on the Capcom Pro Cup Tour scene. And use a lot of the money that was generated for these costumes and everything like that to really focus on this Capcom tour and really fund the people that are on this tour, which is fair enough, it's growing the scene. Second season dropped, and that's the reason why I got the PS4, because they released Akuma. That's right, you fucking released Akuma. That essentially made me buy the entire console just for the game. I mean, Akuma's character is awesome, and that's what they needed to do to get everybody back in to Street Fighter 5, because a lot of the casual fans were starting to lose a little bit of interest in the game. Season 2 then has gone on to release a few other characters, such as Manat, and you've got various other characters that are been put into Street Fighter 5 Season 2, which are all new. And I think what's becoming apparent is people are wanting to get some of those classic characters back. I mean, for God's sakes, guys, we want Sagat. Who doesn't want Sagat? Tiger. So Season 2 is almost at the end. They've got one more character to release. And at the moment, this is an ongoing review because this is a game in progress, right? This is how they're releasing games at the moment. So as much as I love Street Fighter and I love all the Street Fighters, if I'm being really nice, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 at the moment. If I'm being quite fair, it's probably a 7.5 out of 10. And that's because taking into account everything that's out on the market right now. You've got Injustice 2. I mean, the NetherRealm studio guys really know how to do a good full package. And then you've got Tekken 7 that was released this year, which I have to give it, it's probably the best fighter of the year. So many options, really well done story mode. And the 2-player works well. It's missing a few options in the game, but it's a really good game. So that's my review, 7.5 out of 10 at the moment. Thanks for checking out my review. If you like my review, leave me a thumbs up and I'll speak to you later.